but ready to fight. Standing tall, doing what's right. Shining truth like a firelight. Daddy's wisdom running deep taught me promises I gotta keep. Breaking chains, leaving pain behind. Calling out the crooked kind. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. Ain't no fear when I'm around. Justice stands on solid ground. One last chance to make it right, or face the reckoning tonight. In the dark where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. In the dark, where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again.
Warning: the following video contains strong language, which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. Thank you for your attention.
Good morning. Yeah. Welcome to the late night one, where you can have a relaxing and chilled out, somewhat interesting evening. So go and grab your nectar and whatever you want, and then come back and relax. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right. So, how is everyone to do? I mean, you're looking at about 11 o'clock on the East Coast. For a little bit earlier than that. It's been a very dramatic and a very exciting day. Oh, yes, it has. Yes. Oh, yes. Many people have cried. Many people have been upset. Not me. Oh, no. I've had some fantastic time. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to chill out and we're going to have fun. There is, obviously, I forgot, funny enough, in my very quick stream today, I did actually forget to read something out. So, for the record, this is what I forgot for my stream earlier on today, so I apologize. It's only fair that I try to figure out where it is and read it out, because I was thinking today before I go into the topic I want to talk about. It's something that I think it's only fair to read out because it's very humorous. And it was in regards of a post that obviously people want attention. It's so I wrote something, and I did say that that was it. But obviously I forgot this, and I think it's only fair that I read this out because I forgot, so I apologize, but I'm going to read it out nevertheless because I think that it's only fair to read it out because it does belong to this afternoon's stream. A lot of people didn't, but anyway, so I'm going to read this out, and I did write this, and like I said, I did get I did get a little bit of hell with it because I didn't want the grammar and the spelling police to come after me. So here we are. I don't know if anyone has seen it. I don't know if anyone has seen it or not, but I'm going to read this out. Okay. The unstoppable rise of fame. A thank you speech, sort of. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed admirers of my undeniable genius, yet again I find myself asking, how on earth did I become famous so suddenly? But alas, fame calls, and one must respond preferably with dramatic flair. First and foremost, a massive thank you to my wonderful family, my lovely wife, my very dedicated production leader, my cat, and of course all the haters and whiners and unintentionally launched me into celestial levels of stardom. Without your relentless efforts, I'd still be moderately well known. Well, yeah. Bless you for making me a household name. So when you go get that milk out of the fridge, you'll see my name there as well. I must also extend my deepest gratitude to the brilliant toxic storytellers out there. Truly, your script writing skills are a marvel, unique, to say the least. Watching your attempt of creating fictional tales and even rewriting them mid-production is nothing short of inspirational. I salute you. I am Spartacus. To my fans near, far, subscribed and lurking, I adore you, darlings. Thank you for tolerating my occasional chaos and supporting me all the same. And now to the shiny new Oscar. It should join its siblings under the staircase, where I fully expect a qualified space cadet in the year 2098 to discover them. Naturally, they'll end up in one of the great institutions of culture, the Louvre, Le Met, the National Gallery, or even the American Museum of Natural History. Who knows? The galaxy's the limit. Until then, I remain humble. Well, somewhat. Chaps and chapsesses, and always remember, the world's a stage and I'm nailing my performance. I'm sorry, I forgot to read that out yesterday, whenever I was live. And as I said, it was on the announcement. So I did want to add that. My apologies. Excuse me. Annie, hi, welcome back. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So basically, here we are tonight. And so I thought I'd, excuse me, bloody hell. I thought I'd come on to something very interesting. And that is about the interwebs. Now, a lot of people think that the internet has been going for a long time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in fact, it's only been going 32 years. The world, basically, 32 years, I'll say in 1983. 83, 93, 2003, 2013, 2023. It's not 40 years. So basically, the internet technically has been around for 40 years. So we're going to go through a couple of things. Right? So before that, we had Morse code, pigeons, or the next door neighbor. Right? So you'd say one thing, and by the end of the day, it probably might reach a different town. So let's go into this. Right? The internet was officially born in January 1983, but a lot of people don't realize that was just about the defense DDN. Right? That's the Defense Data Network and all those things. But technically, the first email was actually sent in 1971, right? And then after that, the internet, basically started working per sort of, hi Nina, in a way. And that was, I think that was in 97. No, that was in 76. Sorry, my bad. In 76. And then in 82, I think Vince Cerf and Bob and Kahn invented the language for the internet communication, so the script and the platforms. In 83, a domain name system, DNS, was introduced, converting IP addresses into names. And then in 89, Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web. Go figure. Right? And believe it or not, that was actually shown on TV. It was actually right top of the news on TV. In 91, the first web server in the US came online at Stanford Linear Accelerator Center. Right, in the mid-90s, fiber optic cables and wave divisions multiplexing increased the internet's capacity. So, here we are today. 30, 40 years, whatever, down the line. In them days, people were stable. They were consistent. They were hardworking. They were human beings. Today, the internet or the WWW or the World Wide Wub, right, has turned humanity into a cesspool of whatever you want to call it. Now, here's the thing. Can you imagine? Just for a second, just imagine the internet stops, and the only thing you can do is listen to music or play games and communicate with each other. Basically, write emails. That's it. Everything else is gone. Live streaming, everything. The only thing you can do is send emails, listen to music, and play games. And obviously do your homework or, get AI to help you do your homework or stuff like that. Just imagine. I mean, think about it. Just for a second, think about the repercussions if that would happen. I mean, look at what happened when TikTok went down for 24 hours. Just look at when TikTok went down for 24 hours, or when Facebook went down for a few days, or there was technical issues. When Facebook went down, I could, when I heard it, and I'm sitting there at work, and I'm like, what the hell are they on? Hi, Steve. What the hell are they on? I mean, and now TikTok and all these websites, they must have some sort of system where, like, hypnotizing. I mean, like today about the announcement, to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't really want to do it because I just didn't care. I don't care about what people think and say. But it needed to be said because a lot of lies are being said and a lot of people are believing it. It's just like the crampons. There's no difference between either party. So I had to do it. That's why it was a short stream. Or it's like, I mean, here's the thing though. Sitting here, drinking my coffee, smoking my cigarette, and looking at your comments. Without the internet, people wouldn't be able to tell other people what's happened. Like when we hear that, like Linda or Lurker or Aussie Jen or Nina or something, something's happened to them and they have to go away for a couple of days, or Mitch or Eric. There's things that, and you can sit in the channel and go, oh, this and this and this has happened. And then a few days later, you get an email or you get a private message with photos of like half of the house roof missing or something like that. And how close people came. Why do people care more about the negativity than actual caring about what nature's doing to the world right now? I mean, look in America. I mean, you've had fires, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, snow, winter. I mean, what's next? I mean, Canada's had earthquakes apparently. I mean, what's next? Think about it. And then, we sit here putting our trust in the interwebs, in the internet. And in some situations, it's a bloody good thing because you can meet people from around the world. And, some goes, some, people go and people come. But you can meet people on the interwebs. Now, it's a double-edged sword, to be honest. It's because you can also meet exactly that, what some news broadcasters broadcast about. And you can meet them unfortunately, come across them on the internet. Now, it's really weird. I sat here before I went live and I was like, I wonder if it's worth talking about the internet. Just out of the blue. It just suddenly it just went pop. And then I was like, yeah, do you know what? Screw it. I'm going to talk about the internet. Because everyone's taking advantage of it. But here's the thing. You still have to pay for it. Go figure. So, guys, let's get into it. Go and get yourself a nightcap. Let's do this. Let's have a nightcap. Good morning, Lucy. How's your ass? Wait, let me rephrase that. How is your diarrhea? Do you know there's a thing? I think they should bring these back out. I think they should. I think they should. Hang on a minute. 1 second. 1 second. I think they should modernize these things and then bring them back out. And that's pages. I think they should bring pages back. Beep, 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 beep. You have a message. one message. You're a dickhead. End of message. Do you know when we used to send messages to each other? We used to use the most funniest things that we could say, because you'd actually talk. When you actually wanted to send a message to, you had to phone a number, and this person would, and it would either be an old lady or some young chick, and you'd say these messages, and they'd go, "Ooh, okay," and then send it. Thank you, take care, bye. And it was hilarious. And sometimes we'd just send messages to each other just for the sake of actually talking to them. But it's pages, you see, pages and beepers, right? These, take cell phones away. I mean, all the cell phones are, they're just walking little computers. And, if you think about it, okay, if you go into your call time and receive call time, or your call time, and then go and check your time online, browsing shit, you'll notice that you use your phone 80% more for browsing than you do for calling. Or if you're not doing either one of those, you're recording some incident. So what's the point of having a freaking phone when you just get a pager? It's cheaper, and you don't pay for call. You just pay for the calls, and that's it. Have I got a call? No, don't worry about me. I always sound like this in the morning. Waking up in the morning, Vitalator, yeah. Waking up in the morning, oh yeah, Vitalator. Autobots roll out. It's one of those things, really. You just, it's the communication. I think that the interwebs is ruined, to be honest, because there's you really can't believe a lot that's on the interwebs unless it's medical, and the only way you can do that is you double check it. So you can actually check, these are the symptoms, then you check it on one website, then you go to another, and what you do, you correspond. Right? And here's the problem. Every type of search you do, there's an algorithm, and it'll go, oh, right, this person likes this. So what next thing you know, you'll be seeing freaking adverts for it. And you won't even realize, that's quite coincidental. I was thinking about that the other day. And what you don't realize, there's an algorithm that does that stuff, makes you, it's weird, but it's true. The way all these big companies sell stuff, right, do you seriously think they come up with these ideas? No, they sit in a room with all these brain farts, and they'll have like a couple of psychiatrists or a couple of therapists in there, right, giving them this is what people, how their brain works. It's just like, with the news, it's anything, right? And that's how they do it. Like, how many people, right, have sat here, and if you look at the words nightcap, anyone, how many people, seriously now, how many people have decided to get up, go and get themselves a drink while they're listening? Who? Pardon me. Who? I mean, I only said, grab yourself a drink and that. But how many people in here, right now, since you've been in here, have got up or gone and got yourself a nightcap or a drink and come back and sat down? Press 1 if you have, by just looking at the words. Think about it. Think about it. Oh, CB radio. Yeah. But think about it. Think about think about it. Step out. Like, this is why I always say, step out of that box and look at the bigger picture. Advertising, everything else, everything you do when you walk around, advertising, music, adverts. You know, adverts are there's certain adverts that are really quick, and then there's certain adverts that, you know, sort of quick, and then there's adverts that are slow. And then a couple of weeks later, you're sitting in a living room, or you're sitting having dinner, and, you know, the wife or the husband or whatever will turn around and say something, and you go, "Do you know what? It's funny, you know that I was thinking about that. I think we should get one." And then suddenly you're buying the fucking stuff. You know, it's absolutely mind-boggling how people don't realize all that. And the internet in the early stages, oh, it's so in it. I can remember, God, there was, where was it? I went on to it wasn't me, it was someone else's account actually. Because I was sitting next to him, and he was chatting away in his chat in this chat room. And people are fucking weird. And then I mean, what was it? What did they used to say? Oh, that's right. They would say, "Hey, so and so, ASL," and you'd like go, "What the fuck does ASL mean?" And he didn't know either. So for weeks we were going ASL, ASL, ASL. So we went on there again, and then he went, "What does ASL mean?" And then this person turned around, age, sex, location. And I said to him, the minute I read that, I said to him, I said, "Oh, is this where you know, is this?" And he went, "No. It's basically people, instead of asking you directly, they would just ask you ASL, your age, your sex, male or female. These days it'll be male or female or 172 other. Location, you know, this day and age, Mars, Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, Earth, Moon, you know, an age, well, it's just a number. It doesn't mean you have to act by it. But anyway, so, and it was absolutely hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious, but it was freaking dangerous. It was absolutely freaking dangerous. And like I said to her, "Oh, yeah, you're on your own on that one." And like, I can't remember how he didn't stay on it long because, you know, excuse me. And yeah, after that, you get your first email address and that's it. And then people start communicating with you. And even that was a pain in the backside. And because of the upgrades and everything else, and, you know, every single freaking company trying to make money out of you, trying to get you to spend money on shit. Yeah. So, and now you can make multiple email accounts and have a guess what? If you can make multiple email accounts, you can make email accounts up just like that. Just like that. Have a guess what? That means you can make multiple accounts in different places. And there's no policy, there's no policing of that. That yet again is a problem. You know. And it was just absolutely insanity. Absolute insanity. And I look at it now. You've got microphones, you've got high upgrade microphones, cameras, you've got video, you know, everything. It's interesting, don't you think? So what's going to happen in the next 10 years when people who think they're famous now will lose the attention of the people that, you know, or vice versa? Look at all the prominent people on YouTube or X or, you know, on different websites. You know, look at Casey Neistat, for example. He was prominent on YouTube, and then in the end he just gave up and he just does his own thing. No one, you know, or George Jenko or Mark. I don't, you know, there's a lot of people that I used to sort of like. Right. It's all right, Missy lady. You don't have to be chatty, sweetheart. This is not a stream to, you know. This is like a nightcap. This means like chill out, relax. God, you don't have to. You know, we don't have to be on top of everything all the time, sweetheart. So I want you to relax just for once. Just relax to me. I know your bum hurts, but just I get it. I'll read it now. Actually, I'll go and look at it now. I don't mind. I'll look at it right now. Oh, excuse me. Responded very straightforward, easy to answer that one. Yeah, no, I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, everything's just become really fucking weird. You know, 1 minute in years ago, right? People would use paper bags for shopping and that, and then they decided to change it to plastic bags, and then everyone was whining about. Can people please not DM me while I'm live? I'm going to say it one more time. If you carry on, I will block you for the period of tonight. Sorry, my browser's flashing, and yeah. Anyway, fuck's sake. I think I'm going to have a mouthful of my coffee. Yes. Thank you, Annie. Oh, that's a nice car. Do you know? I just seen a video. Kindness doesn't cost anything, and it doesn't. Don't you find that weird? Oh no. I saw a picture of the. Oh God, it was years ago. The Sultan of Brunei got an ex-design chief of Pininfarina to build 6 custom Ferrari F90s that even people of Ferrari didn't know existed. Oh, and I'm looking at one of them now. What a beautiful. See, a lot of people don't remember them days, but yeah. Have you? Now I've had some clocking out. Right. But like I said, tonight it's a nightcap. This is for people to chill out. There's no such thing as depends on kindness. Kindness as a human being. For example, it doesn't harm anybody or hurt anybody to just help someone. Just be there. Like, you can walk up to someone, even when you're sitting on the bus, you could turn around and say, "You all right? Yeah. How's your day going?" Well, and then, you know what I mean? I mean, sometimes you can avoid, someone could be sitting next to you who's that down, and just by going, "Are you all right? Well, how are you doing?" could change their day, probably even their life, or just by responding to stuff. Again, it's so easy. And I think this day and age, everyone thinks that they're trying to get, they think they're being conned. And yeah, there are, I'll be honest with you, there are a lot of people out there who sit on their asses all day and they con people. Now, here's the question. Who is to blame for that? Is it because we're too gullible, or is it they just know how to get money out of people? So, this is one of the reasons why people don't help people as much now. In the old days, I can remember, like, if an old lady was standing there, you'd go over and say, "Can I help?" And yeah, no problem. I mean, there's been times I help people, and I've literally spent over an hour with them, walking home with them, and then dropping their shopping off, and then going back, getting on a bus, and then going back into town, and then to go back to do what I was going to do. But I didn't do that all the time. It was just once in a blue moon. Yeah. But there's this day and age, everyone thinks it's a con, but it's not. It doesn't harm anybody to walk up to a homeless person in the winter and go, "Hey, you hungry?" "Yeah, well, be right back." You just go and get them a warm, bloody meal. If you know they're drinkers, don't give them alcohol. Just give them like a freaking drink. Like a coffee or something. Homeless people, yeah, it's either, unfortunately, it's drugs, alcohol, or they're very heavy smokers. I'll give you an example for that. I'm going to tell you a little story. And this is no word of a lie. And if anyone reminds me of this in the future, I'll say exactly. I mean, it's my beautiful queen phones me up and says, "Oh, she's not answering the phone." So I'm getting a bit worried. And next thing you know, I get a phone call, and it's from a complete different number, and it was a number of a cop. And I said, "What's going on?" And your wife's here. And he puts the wife on the phone. And he said, "Oh yeah, because she took the bus, and she forgot her bag with phones and everything, purse, you name it, in the bag." So what I did, I was like, "Okay," then. And she says, "Well, and then, really strange enough, I kept on calling the phone. And I sent a message that was going to be on a phone. So I kept on calling it. And I went to pick her up next to her, my phone rang. And I said to her, because you're obviously driving and using your mobile phone, and you over here can get you some points. And Hidloo, they'll come and hit you like a sledgehammer. So she answers it, and it's the freaking bus driver of the bus, and he's found her bag. And he heard the phone ringing. Because someone found the bag and then handed it to him, and then he heard the phone ring, and basically, he looked at it, and it said, "The next time you see this phone, please answer it." So he did. So I got talking to him, and I said, "Oh, are you a smoker?" And he went, "Yeah, I smoke tobacco." I was like, "Oh, okay then. Hi, Melody."
And funny enough, a friend of mine just came back from Europe and brought me some tobacco. So I got 50 grams of tobacco, which is probably 30, 40 quid. We went and basically stalked out. We went on a stakeout, and we were parked up in an angle on a street, and people driving past thinking something's weird because, my car does stand out, and internal red light and everything. Anyway, so the bus driver, I see the bus driver, so I drive after it. He parks up, I park up behind him, I walk up, and he goes, there you go, there's bag. She checked the what he says, I insist that your wife checks the bag. She checked it, everything's there, money's there, cash, everything. And I hand him, and I just say, you know what, you, sir, are a godsend. And it's things like that put strength back into humanity. The fact that anybody who may have found that bag, or, but this is the difference between where Lisa Farr and myself and other people, and David Fox and other people live, and major cities in England, or even Cardiff, or, up north in Scotland. That bag would have disappeared. Someone would have had 2 phones, We'd have had to redo the locks, everything. We would have had to get new keys done for the car and everything, you name it. But just because of the honesty, so there are still honest people out there, which is just phenomenal. And it's a shame that that's slowly but surely disappearing. Exactly, Mitch. Sometimes it's better. Do you know what? Sometimes it's better to just step away. And this is why I always say, if emotions, no, what a bad thing. I mean, people have accused me of being emotional. No, I'm not emotional. If you want to call it being assertive emotional, then yeah, no. I'm not. The thing is with me, I'm not scared of going toe to toe with anybody. I don't care how big or small they are, male or female. I don't care. I will go toe to toe with anybody if they are wrong, and I am right, and I've got proof. If I'm wrong and they can prove I'm wrong, I will look at it. I will cross my T's, do my I's, investigate and research it myself. And if it turns to say that I am partially wrong, then that's all I will accept. But if they're wrong, this is the way I've always been. I always take care of my own first before I even think about myself. I always have done that. I've always take care of my own. I'd rather see someone else happy for that 10 minutes than me being, I mean, I've richly there's been times where I've had my dinner in my hand and I've seen other people struggle, or, they've had an issue, and I've put my dinner down and I've richly gone and helped them. And then I've just gone back to my office, or I've gone to my car and went home or something, And then when, hours later, I'm going, bloody hell, why am I so hungry? And, it's because I put my food down and just went and helped someone. But at the same time, I can be a selfish fucker as well. If I don't like you, or, you've pressed the wrong button, or you've approached me in the wrong way, I won't even blink an eyelid. Because at the end of the day, you're just a fucking user. And I've seen that as well. I've seen a lot of people use other people to get a foothold or get ahead, just to fuck someone over. And Melody, she'll be fine. She'll be surrounded by qualified and not good people who will do everything in their power. Right? And the best thing is just wait, communicate with family, and start organizing, start prepping, right? So you're ready to go in a moment's notice, and then try to make your way there. But do it slowly, calmly, and together. Yeah. Okay.
Because when you start panicking, that's when things happen. If you take step by step, nice and calm, deep breaths, and then try to plan everything and do it properly. Don't argue. Everyone has got different ideas, right? And basically, you just come down to what you need to do. Right? I'm sorry to hear that. Do it. My apologies, but always one step at a time. Okay. It's another thing when things like that, for example, happen. People go into fight and flight mode. They don't even realize it, but they go into flight and fight. You need to look what you need to do, where you have to go, what it'll cost, what can you be used, depending on the weather and everything, and who can be helpful. I.e., who can be at the airport or at the bus station or train station waiting for you, who can be there to communicate, who can be the middleman between hospital and you, and everything else. And just do one thing at a time. Don't become a runaway train. And that's what a lot of people have done over the last few months, has become runaway trains. Yeah. A lot of people may not like what I'm about to say, but unfortunately, we are part of nature. Yeah. Someone asked me, he said, when was it? No, it wasn't years ago. It was a while back, but it was a couple of years. I got asked the most weirdest question ever. And they went to me and said, "Are you afraid of dying?" I was like, no. I'm afraid how it will happen or the way it will happen. Who knows? In them days you didn't know, right? So I said, it depends how it happened, but no, I'm not afraid. Because the day I was born, it was the day I started dying. And that's all of us, when it comes to that day, you just accept your fate. Obviously you're going to be scared and you're going to be afraid, but once you've accepted your fate, and I did that many years ago. And there's a lot of people out there who are afraid, and the best reassurance comes is that you know that you've had a fantastic life, and when the day comes, your spirit will go wherever it needs to go, and the shell that goes where that needs to go. Oh, me? I'm coming back to haunt the shit out of everyone who's pissed me off. I'm only joking. No. Yeah. So no, that's one thing. To be honest with you, I think I accepted my fate the day I signed that dotted line many years ago. Because it takes a special type of person to become a soldier. Some people don't realize it, but a lot of people do, especially as an infantry. When you sign that dotted line, you're basically the front part of the bayonet. You are the front. You are the ones at the front of the line. Yeah. And the best thing is, as an infantry, you can do multiple different courses. Yeah. Unfortunately, this day and age, people join the military because they want a job and money and a secure housing. But, they joined the brotherhood. Yep. Yep. So I hope everyone's having a great time. I don't even know how many people are in here. 23 of you. 23 of you. Nice. Or 22. Don't forget to hit that like button. Yeah, and don't forget to check to make sure that you've hit that bell as well, because I know that YouTube's been having a bit of a hissy fit lately, ritually. So you just want to go to your sleep. Well, here's the thing, Nina. Just put some relaxing music on right? And then just go to sleep. And believe it or not, you will fall asleep very quickly. Because what it is your mind. If you can slow your mind down, yeah, and just chill out and relax, have that sort of smoothing, relaxing music in the background, you know, that usually helps. That helps you relax, and then you just go to sleep. And Melody, your sister will be fine. Trust me, she'll be okay. You know, she'll be surrounded by professionals. Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Me, if I could, I would love to send Elon Musk an email and say, "Oi, send me into space. Send me to Mars. Get the equipment and send me to Mars." Hell, that would stop me from smoking. I would volunteer to go to Mars alone. Can you imagine? At a certain point, Mars is 6 months away. Other than that, it takes about a year to get there. So a year there, stay a year, and then a year back. So 3 years, I could come back and go, yep, that's another planet you can fuck up. But no, that'd be the only problem is going through all that training and everything. Central foods and that. And the amount of weight and everything, muscle mass and all that you'd lose in space, in zero gravity and that. But that, yeah. But can you imagine? You're sitting there and you're trying to build a habitat, and the thing is, they always think about building on the inside, but me, I would look like for a cave system, watch it for a couple of weeks, and if there's no collapsing or anything, and it's solid, right, it's come up with an idea to spray it so it reinforces it, and then just build a habitat inside the cave, and then build like a, some sort of gate or protective wall, and then just build everything in there, and then build a dome in there, and then so you can actually use the dome as your habitat, and then go from there. And you could richly do that without disturbing any of the surface of the Mars. You just put it in the rock formation, because they've definitely got stuff like that there. The gravity on Mars is, I don't know, is it 4 times or 5 times the gravity of Earth? So you'd richly need a mechanical system to be able to walk around in that. But years ago they said, "Oh, there's another planet similar to Earth," But here's the problem: why did the NASA give up sending people to the moon? What was the reason? I mean, we know it was cost. All this whinging and whining about, defense budget and everything else. Why not give NASA the ability, get all the biggest brains on the planet, regardless of where they're from, into one room, right? And then have an outstation, or build a station, a bit further away from Earth, outside the crap that's going around, and then have that as some sort of like base station, and then have everyone involved, and then start building ships there, because at the end of the day, you've got no gravity, so it'd be easier to move shit. And yes, you would have to oxygen and everything else, but the shit you could get done.
and you could send satellites out. You know, the less, because the amount of money it would cost to get it out of Earth's orbit, it costs billions of dollars. So if you're in space and there's zero gravity or hardly any gravity, all you have to do is do what you see when they were on the moon. Pop, just one little bang, a little bit of jet, right? And inertia does the rest. But yeah, and you got China, you got India, and I think Japan landed some of their stuff on the moon. I mean, yeah. So let's put all our junk on the moon now. I don't know. You know, you got all the satellites going around Saturn and Jupiter and oh, wait a minute. What about that big fuck off asteroid that's coming towards Earth everyone's panicking about? Maybe that would actually do us all a big favor. You know, it would clean up the atmosphere. It would sort out a lot of problems, and then basically things can start from scratch again. And never know, it probably might actually benefit. You know, there's so many things over 20, 30 years, 40 years. Ozone layers, you know, everything else. Technology. Countries playing secretives, you know. America's got a secret place, Area 51, which is just a cover story. Nevada desert, you know, because they got other places as well. And you got the Russians, Siberia, right? They got places in Siberia. Every country's got a secret place. Hell, the UK's got one place you can't go there. Because they've used so many chemical and biological stuff on that island. It's banned freaking for life. I mean, you'd literally have to turn it into hell just to kill off anything that's there. You know, but once in a while they'll put sheep on the island and drive off. The reason why we can't build our fix our infrastructure is because people need power. There's always going to be someone out there who wants the power over others. There was a documentary. I don't know if anyone has ever seen this documentary. It's a very interesting one, to be perfectly honest with you. It was about Star Trek about 10, 15 years ago, probably a little bit longer. Someone designed the tricorder, actually designed a real life tricorder. And, you know, they put it out for trial. They trialed it and it didn't work because obviously you need, you know, certain things, power and everything else. So to have a tricorder with enough power to be able to analyze a body, and yeah, it's virtually. Anyway, so this documentary was about Star Trek, about stuff in Star Trek that the terminology, for example, it's just like the Big Bang Theory, for example. You know, the Big Bang Theory, you had actual scientists, you know, oh God, what's that girl called? Sheldon's other half. I can't remember. But, you know, all these people, right, were instructed by real scientists. Yeah, and you even had Stephen Hawking as part of it at one point. You know, so you've got all these people talking about stuff in space, right? And, you know, the story about the 1947 crash in Roswell and everything. Here's the thing. It's very easy to design an aircraft, but you just need to get it to fly. And in the old days, what they used to do is do model aircraft, and those model aircraft, if they flied and were stable, right, they'd make them bigger, and then make them bigger and bigger. And if you look at some of the remote-controlled aircraft today, the wingspan's like, I mean, there was one aircraft, the wingspan was 32 feet long, right? And you could literally put a small child in the cockpit. That's how big that plane was. And it flew.
it richly, it unbelievably, it flew. It was about 3 times smaller than the Cessna, and it flew perfectly. Right. So this documentary though was years ago. We're talking about modern day remote control aircraft. In them days, right? They were talking about life in space, and one of the things was taking away money. And I was like sitting there, and the way this woman explained it, said the infrastructure and the human part of it. If you take away money, there's no corruption. If there's no corruption, there's no thieving, no dishonesty. And if there's no dishonesty, there is truth. There is, I mean, obviously human beings probably might not get on and everything else, but just imagine they just take away money, right? And say, for example, you want to go into a shop. Now, people need to work the farms to get the stuff, to put it into the manufacturing. Manufacturing didn't do that. And everyone is benefiting off each other. And that's what you need. If they could ever, the evolution, I mean, obviously in God knows when years, if they can get that. And here's the thing. Everything is free, but you have to put something back into the system, into the society for it to work. If you think you're going to sit at home and get everything for free, no, it's not going to work that way. You have to put in. And if you notice, in the fictional side of it, of Star Trek or Star Wars, right, there is still, in Star Wars, there's currency. In Star Trek, in certain places, there's currency. But what I can't understand is the fact that they stopped trying to go to the moon, even with the space shuttles and everything else. That's what I can't understand. It's like if something's happened and they went, no. Yes, I know that, Apollo 13, and I think was it Apollo 11? Was it Apollo 11 where the 3 astronauts unfortunately passed away in the fire? I can't remember. But they had, oh my God, don't mention the Ferengi. Can you imagine? Oh yeah, I already know who the Ferengi are. The crampons, the fleas, that's the Ferengis. We should call them the Ferengis from now on. Exactly, fix a power structure to situations like I'm going through right now. With having no power, don't happen. Well, Sienna, here's the thing. Wind and solar panel. I mean, the fact that the problem is to harness natural power, you have to buy man-made stuff to actually have, the power. And the thing is, I have watched, because I've been looking into, because I've got solar panels, and I've been looking into this for quite a few years, to actually take my house and everything else off the grid. And we got enough solar panels to, I mean, right now, if I turn the power off, I'd still be talking to you. Good night, Lurker. You have a good night, sweetheart. Lots of hugs. And we've got enough power, we've got enough power to last us for 36 hours. But in 36 hours, just because the sun's out doesn't mean that you won't receive power. You do. God, and then there's water hydrate, what you call it, aqueducting, like where you put a wheel on a flowing river or whatever, and that gives you power. Again, or turbine, where water goes through a tube, it's then sped up. You've got a fan or a propeller in that tube. It's then turned from the water pressure, and the faster the water pressure is, the faster that thing turns, and the higher the power it takes. So you can actually create power from anything around it. even a potato, believe it or not. But I hope that you do get your power back. I really do hope that you get your power back. Yeah. And by the way, I've got my ear infection back, believe it or not. Did I mention that? Oh, yeah. But there you go. I mean, it's humanity is on a brink. If we don't get a grip of reality within the next few years, I can see humanity. I can see a lot of stuff happening, and it's going to be weird. Yeah, everything's just going to go to shit, and that's the scary part of everything. Um, yeah. No, 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 no. I think I know why, but I've already. I'm gonna go and sort it out. I think we'll find out this morning actually, and then go from there. But it's one of those things. But yeah, I mean, it's. I know it sounds a bit weird talking about fictional stuff, but there's been a lot of documentaries, films, and stuff happening over the years that sort of have half truths. I mean, this is what gets me, right? You got all this space travel, going to the moon, landing on the moon, and everything else. Yeah. But the first people who had a man in space was the Russians. But the first people to land on the moon were the Americans. And now you've got India, China, and Japan going for it. So why is NASA not being utilized the way they used to be? Is it because people have become too snowflakey and too lazy and idle? Or is it because, like, you got people worrying about the money and everything else? At the end of the day, the only people who can put you in debt is yourself, or your leaders. Now, it's like the Eurofighter, for example. There's a reason why it's called a Eurofighter, because you had multiple countries investing in one aircraft. So the International Space Station, there's a reason why it's called International Space Station. Because if you remember, there used to be a Russian space station and then the ISS. And they all came to agreements that they get rid of the Russian one, which they allowed to burn up in the atmosphere. And now you've got the Russian one, the ISS, which has got stuff from every single country, because they all agreed to build attachments to it. Look at over in Russia. Russia have the Bruno, where you had the shuttle. The Russians had the Bruno, and there's two near their space station, or near their space where they
can't remember what it's called, but there's big hangars, and they've got 3 of those freaking copycat freaking shuttles just gathering dust. I mean, technically, the only time you have to bring them down is just to do maintenance and repair and everything else. You could work with them. Why are they not out in orbit? You know, that you could travel to the moon and back in less time than they did in the 60s. So why haven't they done that? But they'll spend all this other money on God knows what. Who was it? Virgin, Richard Branson, years ago, wanted to create, space travel, tourism for space. What happened to that? That went quiet, didn't it? Ever remember that? Now you got Elon Musk. With his reusable stage 1 rockets. That's going to be interesting. See how that works out. Now that he's the patsy for the White House, the way it looks. Reason being is because he's a billionaire, a trillionaire, whatever. Interesting. And then we've got, God, we've got Keir Starmer and all that. God, yeah, it can only get worse. Sienna, did you get told that when it's going to be back on? I just realized that's -1 at the moment. I mean, I've always, believe it or not, there was once we ran out of power. Not power, we didn't run out of power. Power went. And basically what I did, I just went and got the car battery. Got the car battery, brought it in, and I just sort of MacGyvered so we could have light, because it wouldn't power a heater, but we had light. And then I sort of richly rigged the barbecue in such a way. I mean, we've got an open fire, but sometimes you have to be careful because of the chimney. But luckily we had everything fixed and cleaned and everything. And I just decided, I went out, got some coal, and bits and bobs, got a couple of logs, and I just put the open fire on and put the cage in front of it. And we just laid in front of the fire like if we were camping, and it was fucking awesome. The smell from the coal, natural fire, it was beautiful. So if you've got a house where you're able to have an open fire in it, invest in it. If you don't, then get yourself a couple of solar panels. Get yourself a couple of solar panels on top of your house, or outside somewhere where they're in the open. Get yourself some of those marine batteries, and then have it connected to your power system by a professional electrician. So when stuff doesn't happen, you just flip the switch, and you'll have power for probably 12 hours or so. And a small generator, and just make sure it's filled up. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
and it's always you can get heaters and battery operated things that you can get power packs with plug sockets on them, and you can actually plug a light, a fire, a heater, or anything in. And these power packs will last for about 12 hours. And, as long as you use it in a room that's good insulated, very well insulated, you'll find that the room will stay warm for quite a long time. So you don't have to use as much. There's so many different ways to make sure that you've got emergency power. Yeah. Here's the thing. What you have to understand, there's a system that, like for a vehicle, say for example, like Eric has got an RV, you can put 2 or 3 solar panels on top, right? Make sure everything's nice and clean, and you can put a protective thing over them. They'll still get the same type of power, right? You can have solar panels connected to a system where the system is also connected to your engine. So when you're driving, it charges the batteries. Once the batteries are full, it just trickle charges them. And the same thing goes when you stop driving and the sun's out. The sun will be shining, and that will continue to charge it. Now, you can have 1 battery, 2 batteries, 3 batteries, 4 batteries. You can have as many batteries as you want. Those batteries, right, in turn, if you don't have any power, you just flip the switch. That, you just take it from electrical to battery, and you just flip that switch, and then you flip that switch and then turn the fuse system back on. Bang, you've got power. And those batteries will have enough power for you to use your microwave, the refrigerator, sorry, for you Americans. And there would be enough power for you to then be able to wait until the next day until you can sort out whatever you need to sort out. All it takes is a little bit of investment, a little bit of, how can I put it, of time to do the research. It doesn't cost that much, because the thing is with solar power, with that setup, you only pay for once, and then it starts paying it back. Because a lot of people go, oh yeah, but when it's cloudy, you don't get any solar power. Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do. You don't get as much, but you do. So it's always good to invest, or have a battery power pack in the house. You can get battery power packs, right, that are really, really good. And by the way, I'm not endorsed or sponsored by any of these, so I'm saying this off my own. Yeah. But always have it, because like the thing is, when you've got a bug out bag, sometimes it's also good to have one of these portable battery packs, and you can get various sizes, various prices. Because if you need to bug out and you've got a vehicle, right, you need to make sure that you got fuel and everything else, and the battery power, right. Believe it or not, you can plug it into your car system while you're driving. You're recharging it, or plug it into solar panels and you're charging it. So you're always going to have power, and trust me, you can get used to the hot, or you can get used to the cold, as long as you do it steadily. But anyway, guys, it is 6:00 a.m. here in the UK. It's 1:00 Eastern Standard, and it is 5:00 in Australia. So we are now going to go. Well, we're already in the coffee time. Sorry, my bad. So, Sienna, please take care of yourself. Make sure you keep yourself warm, and keep the pup warm as well. Everyone else, remember that life is going to go on. We're going to have fun now. Everything that needed to be said was said yesterday. And basically, enough's enough now. So I hope that everyone will understand that needed to be said. And I hope that we can move on from now. And remember, unfortunately, you're going to get weak-minded humans. Hi, Linda. Hi, sweetheart. Just please don't allow people to get under your skin. And if your emotions are kicking in, then just take a break. Just take a break. You're better off just chilling and taking a break than allowing stuff to get to you. Remember that. Okay? Because I'm finding it freaking entertaining, to be honest with you. But that's me. But anyway, guys, I'm going to... Hi, Linda. Hi. I'm going to now slowly close down. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone, who needed a little bit of company got that company, not just with me, but also with everyone else and with each other. Because that's the most important thing. And let's just hope Aussie Gen's okay. Because, they got the cyclones and everything else, so... Yeah, I've definitely got the earache coming in. So, we're going to call it... Oh, yeah, you enjoy that, Nina. It's so it's factual. Wait a minute, what's happened? Scientists on high alert as threat level for 3 U.S. volcanoes have risen to eruption may be unavailable. Ooh. Well, let's just hope Yellowstone doesn't go boom, because if Yellowstone going booms, that's going to be a planet-wide issue. If that goes boom. Yeah, we don't want that to happen. Oh, shit. Huh. Sorry, I was just looking at something. Well, yeah, Yellowstone is one of the biggest. Well, it's the biggest. I believe it's the biggest volcano in the world, and if Yellowstone implodes or explodes or erupts, it will wipe out basically that part of the world within a couple of minutes, and within a couple of hours, it probably might the whole continent all the way down, and then within probably a few days, yeah, it will be an Earth-ending event. That's for sure. Yeah. So anyway, guys, on that note, I'm going to call it a night. I would like to thank everyone for coming in, and for everyone watching. Thank you, everybody. And remember that a smile a day keeps the weird people away. Yeah. And I know. I know who you are now. Yes. Yeah. But anyway, on that note, like I said, I bid you adieu. I wish you a very good night and see you on the next stream, and take care. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Spawn trooper riding in the night, heart of gold but ready to fight, standing tall doing what's right, shining truth like a firelight. Daddy's wisdom running deep taught me promises I gotta keep, breaking chains, leaving pain behind, calling out the crooked kind. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies, no more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. Ain't no fear when I'm around. Justice stands on solid ground. One last chance to make it right, or face the reckoning tonight. In the dark where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies, no more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. In the dark where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies, no more secrets in champs.